I'm Mark McIntyre, Chairman of the Southampton Village Board of Architectural Review and Historic Preservation. With me are my fellow member Susan Stevenson. Jane Clare is not with us tonight, so our alternate Quinn Pofel is with us tonight. Kathy Buxton and Nina Edward Anker. With that, we have quorum, so I'm going to motion to open the June 7th meeting of the Southampton Village Board of Architectural Review and Historic Preservation. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So the first thing on the agenda is minute approval from May 11th. Did everyone get the minutes and have a chance to read them?
Yes.
Are there any questions or comments?
No.
Okay. So with that, I'm going to motion to approve the minutes from May 11th. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We have two written decisions tonight, and I'm going to ask, I did not have a chance to read through them, so I'm going to ask, I know what they say because we've sent them, but I'm going to ask Alice to top line them both for us. And let's start with 25 Jobs Lane.
Okay, this is the Village of Southampton, Southampton Arts Center. This was a certificate of appropriateness for a lighting plan for the Arboretum. It includes removing the non-conforming lighting and replacing it with dark sky compliant lights, all with lamps proposed to be a temperature color of 2700 kelvins.
And you'll remember this was separate from the landscaping plan previously approved.
Right.
Okay. So I'm going to motion that we approve the written decision to approve the application for 25 Jobs Lane. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And the second we have is for 303 First Neck Lane from last meeting.
This is for a certificate of appropriateness for the construction of exterior alterations and an addition to an existing dwelling. There were 3 hearings on this application. The board had conducted a site visit. At the initial meeting, the board had some concerns about the departure from the original building and thought that the addition needed more visual distinction in order to differentiate the addition from the historic portion of the building. There were some changes that the board was pleased with right away, including relocating the front door back to its original location and restoring the porch. After revised plans were submitted with the addition having a reduced height and shortened length of the addition, the board indicated that the addition, the shortened porch, and the rearrangement of the fenestration and aligning of the ridge lines made the addition feel appropriate.
Okay. I read through the decision shortly before the meeting. I'm comfortable voting on it, if you guys are. I feel like it says what we said. Okay. So with that, then I'm going to motion to approve the written decision for 303 First Neck Lane. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And before I go further, let me also say joining us tonight is our planning director, Alex Wallach, our attorney, Alice Cooley, and in the back we have Sage running video, and we have Jackie Allen as our recording secretary. Welcome. Okay, so we have no adjournment request, which is rare tonight. And so that takes us to carryover matters, but which we have none for sign permits, but we have sign permits. Did I see Amy come in?
Yes.
No.
Oh, no,
Amy,
that other
Amy,
Amy.
can you?
Two Amy's, I guess.
No, I'm sorry. This is our alternate Amy Frazier, who's also an alternate board member. Can you help us with the sign world there? And we'll start with the first one is Grandma Did It Better at 1 Windmill Lane.
So
The applicant's here, okay?
I am Ron Fisher for the applicant.
Okay.
could I just say, didn't I see it up there already?
Yeah, I wouldn't do it without a permit, so they hired my competitor to put something up for Memorial Day.
No kidding,
Yeah,
wow.
There's 2 of them in here that are that.
Yes, I sort of
Really?
noticed that.
I didn't recognize. Okay, go ahead.
That's,
Sorry.
it's, no, that's the old one. This is the good one.
Yeah.
We're all set.
Great, thank you, Amy. Go ahead, sir.
So this is what they're proposing.
I'm sorry, can you read your name into the record?
Sure. Ron Fisher, Fisher Signs and Shirts for the applicant.
Okay,
They're looking for black letters on the existing board, which is what the other tenants have done, one color lettering on the board. They'd originally proposed a different font that the sign committee didn't like, so they came back with it at this, which is more in line with the other signs on the building.
I think it looks cheap in some way. Am I wrong? What's wrong with this?
I mean, the font is different, but it's consistent with the other signs,
It's
same
just,
color.
what are the letters? Are they just pasted on?
Vinyl, same as Roman Sanford above it, and same as Barryville General was before they moved out.
I guess one of my questions is, in driving by it, the existing square in which the sign is sitting is that there?
Yes.
And they're just putting lettering into it?
Correct.
That's what I saw, okay. Because normally we like signs to be the width of the window, but I think that square is already there.
Correct.
In which case, the one thing I would say, if Grandma did it better, 20% smaller, I'd be happier. If the letters came down a little bit, there was a little more air in it, I think it
Yeah.
would look a little more sophisticated.
And maybe over the window.
No, they have that
The-
Could you
space.
offset it though?
Yeah.
It's
or
like
something?
trimmed
It's
into
in
the,
it.
yeah,
I agree with Mark. If it were smaller and more centered on the
If
space.
it just got brought down, and if the lettering got brought down a little bit into the space, and there's more air in the space, and the letters were smaller, I think it would look a little
20
more
is a lot, would you consider 10? 'Cause 20 would make it really small. And these right now are the same height as Roman Sanford and the same height that the previous sign was.
Who's, Roman Sanford is up above?
Yeah.
And
I
around,
don't
and
care
around the
about
corner,
that. We're
yeah.
talking
We look
about
at this
on
sign.
the street.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. Board
No.
members, here's what I would say. What I would say is you are free to present whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Understand that what the board is looking for is something around 20%. Now, if you think there's a smaller that you think looks good, you're allowed to present it, because this is signage. So what's going to happen is you're going to re-present it, because you don't have votes tonight. And then we have a signage committee. If it comes in and the signage committee thinks it looks fine, we approve it, we move on, because we try to help our businesses as fast as we can. But if it comes in and the signage committee isn't sure, then they send it back to the full board and makes it wait 2 weeks.
Got it.
So I'm going to say, that's your choice,
20%
or that's the
smaller
client's
would
choice.
likely
Yeah, like
please
late.
the sign committee.
Yeah.
Got it.
Well,
It-
visually, that's what it feels like in our mind.
Okay.
This is your business, but that's what you hear. So if you can, want to come back with what you think is more, what we would find more appropriate, whatever that actual number is,
Sounds good.
that's what I'd say to do.
Thank you.
Was there a version you looked at that tried 2 lines? I don't know if that helps
Yeah,
with
that
the
was
sizing.
the original one.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't like that, because then it's not, then it's not a
Nobody liked- I
logo.
didn't like that.
Got
Then
it.
it's not a logo, then it's just a sentence.
Got it. And then to clarify, there's no door and window signage proposed as part of this?
Correct.
Okay, because I know the code enforcement was there to address some window signage
I
that's
don't know
there.
what happened after I said I wouldn't do
Goodness.
it. I noticed
Fair
when I
enough.
went to the movies.
Okay, just wanted to point that out for the record.
Controversy down there.
Grandma's getting
Yeah.
aggressive. All right. So with that, I think you know what we're looking for.
Yeah.
So I'm going to motion to approve the applicant's request for an adjournment to Grandma Did It Better. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Just represent as fast as you can, and we'll get it to the committee, and we'll try to turn it on as fast as we can, because I know it's summer and the businesses need their signage.
Well, they
appreciate
have the
it.
sign
Yeah,
up, so
yeah,
don't kill
yeah,
yourself.
Yeah. Then in that case,
They don't
hurry
really need
back,
to
because
hurry at all,
we'd like the
Mark.
village to look better quickie. How's that?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. So next up is Look Closet. I feel like, is that you again?
It is. They're going to
Okay.
all be me tonight.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, at least we get you back to back.
Okay,
Less travel.
it's me again.
Hello, welcome.
Hey, hey.
That's Thursday.
Okay.
So if there's a revision, let's just make sure that it's the one that's in our file so that it can
Okay.
get signed off correctly. Is that not the right one that we had in the file?
No, this was presented after a sign committee did
Okay.
approve it. But you can keep that one.
Okay.
Okay, so the one on the left is existing?
That's existing
Yeah.
and was approved.
Yep. And you're changing it because,
She doesn't like the pink anymore, and she adjusted her logo a little bit. She likes the outline of her bags.
okay, what do you think we're going to say?
too tall.
Too big, too bold.
I honestly don't
Okay.
know. This one,
Well-
I thought you weren't going to like the cities, so we
Yeah.
took those off for her.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what
We
you didn't
don't
like
like the
about that.
cities.
Well, what I feel like, again, is that it's
20%, you're right.
it's your balance problem of lettering to airspace within the sign.
Okay. 20% sounds like a good revision.
Don't you think?
Yeah. 20% is what we would like to look at.
All right.
The same thing, the sign's there, but the faster, you get it done, the faster the village looks better. So let's put it that way. How's
You
that?
got it.
Okay, so I'm going to motion to accept the applicant's request for an adjournment to 9 Windmill Lane. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Are you also inside edge waterproofing and
I am
drainage?
all of them tonight.
You're
And
just
I've already
not-
written 20% smaller.
Okay. Okay. Okay,
Okay.
let's see it. Okay.
Oh,
This is on Mariner Drive, the end of Mariner Drive.
Yeah.
The
Oh.
sign size is the same as what was there, but with their logo and letters.
Yep, and guess what?
You want it 20% smaller?
Yep, there's no air in that. It goes edge to edge, and the sign is a little screamy.
You got it.
I've
The
never
same
even
one.
been to
But
the,
wait, that's not even to scale in that drawing either.
Put it
If
back.
that's a 30 door, and then the sign's 6 feet across, that's enormous.
well,
It is to
it's
scale.
over the door.
It is to
that
scale, your
correct?
drawing?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, the sign's
It's-
twice as wide as the door.
Oh,
It's the same size as what
I
was
guess it
existing.
goes over on the left a lot, too.
Mariner.
Do you have pictures of other signage on that building?
I have a picture of that, what's there now.
Okay.
Oh.
Sign season. Mm-hmm. That's June.
Sorry, it's gonna take 1 second.
That's okay.
I don't have it handy. I will find it, but I don't wanna hold you up, sorry.
Okay.
no,
Right. All right. So are we fine just seeing it 20% smaller, or do you want the whole sign brought down? Which is it?
Yeah, I think, is it existing, that sign?
It is existing that size.
Okay, same issue.
Keep the size, but make the letters smaller.
Yep.
You got it?
Okay, so motion to accept the applicant's
Oh, wait, no,
request
you
for an
have that.
adjournment
You
for
have that.
174 Mariner Lane. Is there a second?
second.
All in favor?
This is.
Aye.
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 Thanks.
Next up is 77 Jobs Lane. Here we go again.
Yes.
I'm not going to say the word monopoly, but you're doing really good with signs here.
Doing okay. Some did get approved.
Okay.
Some,
Wow.
Do you
yeah,
have the same as what I
yeah,
have right
to
here?
my knowledge, yes.
I have 2 sheets, 3 sheets. What do you have?
It's all one drawing, but one application for the awning, one for the window lettering, one for the sign.
So that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you happen to have an, I've looked at it, but do you have a paint sample color?
It's black and white, but then the vinyl is gold.
But,
Oh,
The window
gold.
lettering,
uh,
I don't
Is that
have.
their logos in gold or what?
it's matte, not shiny gold. It's,
Oh, okay. And is it meant that it's on both sides?
Yes, they wanted it on
Thank you.
both.
What do you think of that? I don't actually mind it.
I don't know that I mind it, because it's not shiny, and it doesn't read as, strikingly gold. It's in the gold
I don't
family,
mi-
but
I don't mind it.
it doesn't read as metallic gold to me, like some shiny golds do.
Yeah. It's kind of a non-entity,
Yeah.
the whole thing.
I think it's fine.
We think it's fine.
All right, then motion to approve the
How about
application for
that?
Creed at 77 Jobs Lane. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
50 Jobs Lane.
Can I ask a quick
Next.
question? I'm done with signs. In the past, if the sign committee had feedback, they would share it with the applicant. We're not doing that anymore?
Not allowed. We have an attorney over there that told us we're not allowed to do that. so
Okay. All
We have
right,
to
thank
find.
you.
We apparently were operating slightly outside of our boundaries when we did that time, so.
Got it. All right, well, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I got to stay, clean nosed here. Okay, and now there's one more at 50 Jobs Lane? Is the applicant here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The Amy's are showing it.
Computers, so should I cast it?
Does it match what she's got right, the other Amy has in front of you?
Oh, thank you, yes.
Yeah, we can just do
Oh,
this.
good.
We can just do this.
Just one, or do you need the other one?
Well, this is what it looks like now, and this is what we're.
Okay, good. Then I'll-
Thank you.
Okay. Amy, can I see the application for a second?
Sure.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, go ahead.
Hi, so my name's Amy Nee. I'm on 50 Groves Lane. So this is what we have as the initial. Actually, the previous ownership already took the sign down.
Okay,
And this is what we're proposing here.
okay,
So it's pretty much the same size to fill up what was already there, just making the letters a bit larger, so it's a bit easier to detect on the streets.
and this is not there yet, right?
No.
Good, okay.
Congratulations.
Okay.
Are they raised letters on the shingles? Or is that
Are these pin-mounted letters?
Yeah, so we're just trying to match with our neighbors, and that's
Okay.
what they have going on. And I had my fabricator take a look at their material. It's a
Okay.
PVC foam, so we're just matching it.
Okay, and then you're pin mounting them on the building?
Yeah.
So they have relief, okay?
Is there a door sign there as well? It's a little hard for me to read. Is
There
that part of
is
your
a-
application?
There is a sign at a decal of the name and the operating hours
Okay.
at the moment.
This should be inside the door frames.
I actually wasn't aware we had to
And it's
do
offset, which drives me nuts.
another
sign, I guess, permit for the door?
You can make it part of this application, but we would consider that as a part of a window sign.
Okay, yeah.
If it's more than just the hours, if you put the name there, that counts as a sign.
Okay, sorry, yeah. So we have the name of the building right now. for
Okay,
the-
here's what I would quickly tell you. I think it's a little wide, and it's not centered over the door. That may just be the drawing, but you see inside the width of the door frame, not the door frame itself, but the door area, it should be inside that, I think. So
Yeah, I
it's going
think
to
it
come down a
just-
little bit, and then it should be centered on the window. I mean, it should be centered on the door, which I realize it's a drawing, but it should be.
Yeah, that's what we have envisioned as well.
Is that light fixture new or existing?
That would be new.
Okay, so that's part of
Okay,
this as well.
and then the light fixture should be centered over the door. Okay, so I want to ask if you can just bring the drawing back, cleaned up a little bit, with the, where it shows that it's slightly smaller inside the width of the door area, so it's just probably about 10% smaller, and the light is centered over the 50. The sign committee will take a look at it pretty quickly.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Yes.
And the letters smaller? I
And-
mean, the whole thing?
Yeah, I think the whole thing will get a little, because it's going to have to come down just a little to fit inside that door
Right.
area. Okay?
Did you have any comments on the door decal? Just want to make sure that we include that
Is
as
that a
part of
door
the
decal, or is
approval.
that inside the, is that a door decal, or is that inside
Or is
the?
that your wall?
Is that
back
your
wall?
wall?
It's the door.
Okay. Anybody else? I don't mind it.
No, I think it looks
Okay.
just like in a gallery.
Okay. Yeah.
Or-
So do you want to just redraw that and represent it, and then we'll take a look at it quickly?
Okay, yeah, no problem.
Okay,
Like
great.
right now, or?
No.
No.
No. Not that quickly. But if you get it to the building department tomorrow, they'll route it instantly to the committee, and then
Okay.
we'll take a look at it, and, assuming that it matches what we're talking about, we'll approve it for you fairly quick, as quickly as we
So
can.
that it would mean you wouldn't have to come back.
Yeah.
Amazing, okay.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And if they don't agree, then you would have to come back, right?
Okay.
But I think you might be in the clear, so.
Thank you.
Okay.
Don't panic.
Stick these with the-
Yes, I'm sorry. Great, thank you. With that, I'm going to motion to accept the applicant's request for adjournment for 50 Jobs Lane. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we'll look for it tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We have no demolition evaluations, so public hearings historic. We have two carryover. The first one is J.C. Pond Lane LLC at 153 Pond Lane.
That's new.
That's new, and do you have applications, and are they in order?
I have the affidavits and they're in order.
Great. Could you pass that down to the signage file? Okay, if you'll start by introducing yourselves.
Good evening, my name is Brian Glasser. I'm the architect representing 153 Pond Lane. To get started, the current property is,
David Gilmartin, counsel for the property.
Hello, David. Okay.
just to get started, the current property is located on the west side of Pond Lane. It's roughly 210 feet north of Ox Pasture Road. It is a vacant piece of property, which is 3.59 acres. So you can see here the proposed house that we're looking to construct is a colonial shingle-style house. Some of the elements that you'll see are center front entry, classical details, asymmetric two-story main massing, and some covered porches on the rear. The materials that I have represented here, we're proposing a perfection red cedar shingled roof. Gutters will be gutters and leaders, so we're using round gutter, half round gutters, and round leaders, which would be white. The siding would be a red cedar as well, perfection shingle, and both the roof and the siding would be left natural. The chimneys that we're presenting are going to be a Danish blend material, which you can see the material sample over there. Moving on to the windows, we're going with a Marvin Ultimate product, which is an aluminum clad double hung window, 6/1 pattern. And the color that the aluminum color that it comes with is a standard white. The trim and columns, those details would be painted white to match the window, which is like an off-white color that Marvin provides. Columns are gonna also be painted white, as I mentioned, 12-inch round, or 12-inch square columns with a traditional Tuscan base and capital. The railing is a painted white square baluster. Wall sconces will be dark sky compliant. I like to go with it's gonna be a copper, it's called Bavalo, which is, they can get them as a gas lantern and/or it could be switched out with an electrical, like it could be an electric wire lighting, and it's, like I said, dark sky compliant, so you won't have anything projecting out to the neighbors. And patios are just a bluestone patio surface. And that's pretty much it for the project.
Brian, can I just ask a question about your aerial? It looks like maybe that's an old image. That house on the right, that's no longer there, correct?
Yeah, so we, typically what I'll do is I'll try to get a drone image. One of my guys just took a picture from Google Earth, so it was probably.
Okay, yeah, I think as of 2020, that lot is vacant and is owned by the town.
Yeah, they're both vacant. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a chimney. It's not on
Only because it makes it look like those houses are very close together, but that's not going to be the case.
Yeah, yep, sorry.
Board members. One of the first questions that's come up is where'd the chimneys go when you're rendering?
You can't see them in the back, yeah.
Well, one of my.
We're going to need,
Yeah.
we'd like to see them.
Yeah, they show in your drawings, but also I'd like to see a rendering of, not just the front elevation, I'd like to see all 4 elevations in rendering.
All 4,
Yeah.
okay.
Because at a house on this size, at this location, because it's a very visible, to only render the front location, I don't think it's fair to the board. I think they'd like to see all 4 of them.
Okay.
Board members, questions, comments? I will say, from my standpoint, the gas lights are a no, because they're not something you see I only know of a couple, and I think gas lights on houses in the village are just not what we normally see.
What
Did you
I was
say
gonna-
gas lanterns?
Yeah, I can bring a spec. They can do either gas lantern or electric. This is gonna be electric, but
Okay.
what they do is they put like a metal deflector on top, so the the electrical light is inside, so it kind of shines
Okay,
down.
but it's not a gas light.
It's not gonna be gas, no, it's electric.
Okay.
Yeah. Just the company does offer one or the other, which.
Then can you bring a cut sheet on that so we can
that's
see
not a
it?
problem.
Great. Board members.
I'm not starting. Somebody else is starting. It's not true.
Anyone?
Uh,
Kathy, Quinn, any thoughts, questions?
Come on.
On the back of the house, is that center section a screened porch, it looks like? Go back to my plans and look.
So on the back, there is, on the
Like the
floor.
big expanse, the 5 glass windows.
Let's go with floor plan for a second here.
Is that a whole, yeah, that's what I was.
Do you have the floor plans, or on page 3?
It's on, I was just looking at the aerial on 005.
So if you go, the best way to.
Sunroom.
Yeah, if you go to page 3, you'll see
That's the
that there's
dining
a
room. It's a
Yeah.
dining room.
dining area there's a decent amount of glass for the amount of wall space on that back element.
Mhm.
And then I guess it would be to the,
Yes.
So that's a covered patio, and that's the dining room. Oh, yeah.
give me a second.
That's not a screened-in porch, that's a dining room. And that's,
You can see it on the site
Yeah.
plan as well.
yeah.
So to the south, you'll see that there's a rear covered patio on the south side
Right,
by the sunken terrace, and then there's a little area that jogs out, which is like a breakfast room. If that's what you're talking about, directly behind the back of the house.
Mm-hmm.
So that,
Yeah.
that sticks out.
Yeah.
And this isn't screened in. And that's part of the.
That's all glass work.
Yeah.
The only other comment I sort of have is the side lights into full transom over the front door.
Yes.
Seems a little glass heavy and visually glass heavy to me, and not typical to what we'd see and harmonious to other houses we see in the area.
Mhm.
Normally we would see either is that, how tall, is that little guy 6 feet? Is that a 9 foot door?
Yeah, you have a 8-foot door.
Yeah,
And it's
I
like
would,
another
we would
5 foot.
normally see like side lights go all the way up, but not above the door.
Mhm.
And I think that would be a little less glass and light heading forward and a little more typical and appropriate and harmonious to what we see in this, especially in the historic districts.
Right. Okay.
I mean, I would tell you overall, I think it's a well-balanced house, and I think it's a lot about this
Yeah.
house. The fact that you're hearing this little comment is actually on a first time through in a house this big
Mhm.
is actually a really good thing. But,
Yeah. I thought it fit in the village for the most part, you know, the elements, it wasn't as
Yeah.
edgy as
Yeah.
some of the other stuff I've done, so.
so, but for the board, I would want to see, I want to see renderings with buildings in all 4 elevations.
I mean, the other thing, Brian, I would ask for is like when you go back and look at your renderings, will you pull back a little bit on the front and give us some landscaping and maybe a landscaping plan for this would be really helpful to see sort of how this house is situated and what you guys are going to do with the overall property, especially in the front.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get some maybe drone images, I can insert the 3D model in. Let me see what I can come up with, but I get.
That'd be really helpful.
Yeah.
This is like cut off right at this.
Yeah,
so
yeah, I
wide.
gotcha.
Do you have
Anything
the
you'd
color
like
of
to
the
see?
front door called out somewhere?
It's gonna be mahogany, I know it's a mahogany, a solid mahogany door, but I could do that.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was painted or something.
Yeah, it'll probably be a stain, but I'll make sure to note that.
Great.
The glass that you have, is that gonna be a reflective glass like that, or is that just a nice one?
Reflective glass, and it's just standard glazing for Marvin, yeah. We're gonna go with a traditional Marvin, double hung window,
Yeah, it's pretty much traditional.
6/1.
And just to make sure you've looked at it, guys, anything you want to see on the pool house or the garage? Or whatever, I guess that's the pool house side structure there. So we can give them all the comments at once. One thing I'm going to tell you is that your glazing pattern on page 8 does not match your rendering on page 10 on the upper windows. They look like two
Which page?
If you look at page 008 on your drawing, your glazing pattern on the second floor looks like 2s, 2x2s.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
and on your rendering, they look like 3x3s. This man's opinion is 2x2s look a little better, and they look a little more appropriate to the windows below.
2x2. Yeah.
But I will say thank you for including gutters and leaders on your rendering. A lot of people don't appreciate that.
You know what's funny, when I do traditional homes, I like to include it, when I do modern houses, I don't.
Well,
But I know, you guys don't.
Give away your seat. Yeah, I was gonna say, now we know the trick.
No,
Thanks.
it's a cool, I mean, not for you guys, but for clients, it always looks a little
Yeah.
cleaner without it, but
How about the?
for traditional houses, I like to add
The
it.
balcony or the front porch? The front,
Sorry, that's good.
this balcony. Is that
The front door, that's just a,
fake?
that's just a railing up on the top. That's not, you don't actually have door access to that, right?
Over the front door?
Over the front door.
Yeah, no, those are windows, yeah.
That's just a design
Yeah.
element.
I think that adds anything to it.
If you go to the, if you go to the page 0, if you go to page 4, you'll see that there's just windows, that's a double facing
Yep.
piece.
Right. I think it's okay, it's sort of bland.
I think without it, I don't know.
It probably, who cares? I mean, it's a big house, it's not gonna matter.
Kathy, anything? All right, so you know what we're looking for?
Yes.
Great. Do we have any comments from the public? Because this is so visible, because it's Pond Lane that everyone will be driving by,
Mhm.
that we will be paying attention to that, but and we want to see all the way around it.
Are there
And
any
I also
driveway
think
gates
because you've
proposed?
shown us,
Oh, I'm sorry.
you've shown us the property facing the back, we also want to see what the, in rendering what the light pattern will look like to the back neighbor. That's what we're looking for.
Oh, I'm sorry, what did you say about the light pattern?
Because the way you've shown the existing, there's a house through the woods there in the back. So I just want to know, we'll be looking at how much, we'll be paying attention to how much glass is across the back and what potential impact it might have on our neighbors. One of the things we'll be looking at, just so you know.
I might do a,
Miniature house.
I think the aerial view, the four sides. In Sagaponic, we've done, you know, we could do kind of somewhat of a light study, so you can see maybe I could turn it to like nighttime, and then you can see that too, so.
That would be
Give you
excellent.
a few options, yeah.
And gates and gate lights.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Gates.
Are there any
Coming
gates
up.
proposed?
They didn't mention gates, no.
Okay.
So isn't behind you like a miniature, kind of mini, a playhouse of the other people?
I don't know.
Okay,
I
it's
gotta
way
have to
back.
look, yeah.
We'll come back to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so with that, I'm going to, a motion to accept the applicant's request for an adjournment to, what's the next meeting, June 22nd?
Why don't you give us-
June
yeah,
22nd
why don't you give us
for
2
153
months?
Pond.
Why don't you
Oh,
give us 2 months, because I know he's gonna wanna get a landscape architect.
2 months.
Oh,
2 months?
okay.
Okay.
2 weeks or 2 months? Okay,
It's gonna take.
fine with us.
Okay,
And rendering wise, I gotta see if I can get a drone,
okay.
see what.
August 10th?
Gives us some time.
August 10th?
What I'm going to suggest is that you go to July 27th,
Okay.
just because August is only going to have one meeting in it. So you might as well go to, if you can be ready on the 27th, we can adjourn if you're not. But then if there are more comments that you need to address, you're either going to have
You
a
have a
week,
chance.
you're going to have a week or 6 weeks. So take it the 27th,
We'll take
then
the
I think it gives you better options. For you, I think it gives you better options.
And if you can't do it,
Okay, so let me go back. Motion to set the applicant's request for an adjournment for 153 Pond Lane to July 27th. Is there a second?
second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so the next up is 16 Gin Lane. Do you have the affidavits, and are they in order?
I don't.
oh,
I don't.
this, I was in another meeting, and this is that wall. And we got some kind of permission now, so what
Affidavits are not here.
So it doesn't matter.
No matter. Matters
But I
next meeting.
remember this.
I got all the affidavits from Francis. I have a file here, and I don't have them. I don't know what to say.
I do have the receipts that they sent me of all the mailing.
It has to be on the
Client
day
was
of.
mailing that herself, the affidavits, so
I need to see the affidavits.
I should do.
No.
You can email it to me.
My apologies, I was sure that you were sent.
That's okay.
Well, it's not okay because I was hounding them. And look, you have to make sure this is done. This is what.
Okay.
Do we want a second call?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
you want to show me, and I'll send it to myself.
Mhm.
Okay?
Good.
I think they did.
Okay, these are in order.
Oh,
What?
really?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
See?
Okay, if you'll start by introducing yourself.
Alex, if you send those to building department too, we'll put them in the file.
Uh-huh.
My name is Andrei Chelistchev, I'm the architect.
Do me a favor, make that microphone your friend so the
Yes,
public, so
okay,
the
here,
public can
let's-
hear you. Thank you.
Andrei Chelistchev, the architect.
Okay?
It's a new old matter because I came with these drawings in 2009. I came again in 2011, and then the property passed ownership, and apparently they didn't do the work. So Gil reached out to me to say, hey, can you resurrect it? So here I am again. Actually, I came before this board in 1993 for this property. A little bit younger then. So it's the rebuilding of the wall that, we received a letter in 2008 from John Foster saying the wall needed to have some remedial work.
In
done.
2008,
2008.
so they've hurried.
Well, I did it right away. I came in, that was late 2008. I got forwarded his. I knew John from working on other projects, actually from the early 90s, and presented my drawings. They needed some adjustments, which we did. They were approved. Vince Camuto, the owner, sold the property and passed away, and I guess the subsequent two owners either were not aware of it or didn't address it.
Okay.
Here we are.
And so they have to do it, or they want to do it?
Let's put it this
I
way.
mean, how come it's coming up now?
Because they have to do it. If you look at the letter that's in
I'm
your
looking.
files, it was written by John Foster. He went to the, I guess, powers that be, and they wrote Mr. Camuto a letter saying, you have to do this work.
Right.
I had already renovated the house for him some years before, so we came up with a plan, and I presented it twice. It was approved, and I moved on. He sold the property, and
You moved on and the wall didn't. Okay.
the wall did not. But
Okay.
Gil still had my number. He reached out to me. I moved subsequently a few times,
Okay.
and here
Does
we
the
are.
approval not go with the property?
It expires.
Oh, it expires?
Yeah, because
Yes.
I think I worked on something about
Yeah,
this.
if there's no
I've
building
only
permit
worked for like
issued within
11
a certain number of
years.
years, it's
I
expired.
remember
Got it.
thinking
Well-
that they had to do
Okay,
this, and
so
it was a
here we
big
go
job,
again.
actually.
This is
Yeah,
great.
and
What more-
since he sold the
more time
property, I
to
wasn't
anyway.
coming there anymore, and as far as I knew,
You're right.
it was done.
Now,
It's a
is
giant
this-
mess.
Is
Okay.
this basically the same proposal that was gone through before that was
Yes.
approved?
Yes.
And they approved this new construction?
Just, actually, I should correct myself. I'm sorry. It's the same proposal aesthetically. The structural engineer and I said we won't rubber stamp our drawing from 2009 and then 2011. We came out, looked at the wall, we adjusted slightly the structural requirements given the condition that is now. But aesthetically, it's the same. It's his pinning back that he increased. So, Robert Murray.
Okay, so take us through what you're proposing to do and where you're proposing to do it. Is this the village-facing side of this wall?
Yes, it
Or
is.
is this the client-facing side of the wall?
It's,
Well, this is the parking lot side,
Yeah.
right?
It's a parking
Yeah.
lot side. So it's a portion of the wall. It's one, but the easier thing to see is on, okay, there's the conditions.
You're going to face that towards you.
Towards me?
Yes,
Oh,
correct.
So I don't have to read upside down,
No.
thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so here's a rendering, perhaps is the easiest thing to see. A portion of the existing wall was deemed okay, just some repointing. This is the part of the wall, before Vince, somebody put earth up against that wall that it was never designed to have. And then there was a pool house built, and this is prior to Vince, because I started working with him soon after he bought the place in the early 90s. And that contributed to the failure of the wall, plus the fact that it's on the ocean and the salt air is eaten into it. So they're essentially buttressing, Robert Murray, the engineer, is creating a buttress up against the wall and doing these tiebacks into the anchoring into the property behind.
So here's my simple question. From a village standpoint, from a wall they've looked at that's historic, you're proposing that we alter this section that the village can see. Is there a proposal that you dig this out from the other side and you support it for the inside of this wall, or rebuild it from the inside of the wall to what the village sees? Looks like what the village has seen since the house was built?
Here's what is an issue. Over here, subsequently, all this work was done,
Right.
and it's built up. There's a a pool house right there, and all of that grade has changed.
Right, but how far is that pool house from the wall?
It's enough that, I mean, well, it's a very good question.
Because basically what I see
Possibly.
is you're asking the village to take the hit. You're saying, instead of the client having to dig the land out and re-support this from the inside and preserve the historic aspect of this wall to the village, we take the new concrete facing the village so they don't get disturbed on their side. So I think, as the Board of Architecture Review and Historic Preservation, to preserve how this wall has looked to the village since the house was built, I think if we have to do a rebuilding, it should be on the site that's now covered with dirt. If they can figure that out, if there's that option, I think the option to change visually something in a historic district this drastically in this contemporary nature is probably not the right idea.
I don't disagree with that. It was for some reason, I'm gonna have to think back how many years,
Yeah.
the strategy that we took at
Yeah.
that point. And I worked actually it out with John Foster.
Yeah,
Yeah.
120%.
So I think you're going to need to go back to the drawing board
Yeah.
and figure out a solution that's probably more difficult for the owner, but more appropriate to the village.
That's
And because,
fair.
our job is to preserve historic content and historic material that this plan would cover completely.
Yeah.
Just technically, I don't disagree with the aesthetic statement.
Right.
Technically, given the shape of that wall, you're probably looking at removing as much on the other side. And I'm not saying that counter to what you're saying. It's just
It
technically.
looks to me like you're going to take about 6 feet of dirt away from the other side that I can't see fence anyway. You're going to figure out how to re-support it from the other side and then push some dirt back up against it. It's probably going to be unfortunate for the homeowner, but for the village, we're going to preserve the historic aspect of the wall.
That's true. That's
Right.
true.
Right.
That's
Do
what
you
I think.
have the-
That's what I
yeah.
think we need to think about. Okay.
Very
Do you have
well.
the survey? Can you show the survey that you submitted to the
Well,
file?
the-
Because I think it shows the buildings in relation to the wall.
Yeah,
That
it
might be
does.
helpful.
I don't have, I mean, this one is here.
Because it looks like the structures are aligned with the northernmost part of the wall that's intact. Is that right?
Oh, no, because you can see here,
Remortar it.
you can see here
It has to look the
how
same with the
this is
same
the
material.
portion that has to be addressed. They built some things, I was not involved in that. It preceded my time, but and then recently when I was there, I noticed they did a lot more landscaping. Vince had
Yeah.
this pretty plain, but they
Yeah.
did some much more landscaping.
Well,
up in this
there's a lot
area.
that's gone on there. There's a new garage, there's a new
That's nice.
pavilion. There's a lot going on over there.
Display
But,
department.
well, you know what we have to say. And I think Quinn had a good point, which if there's a method that says you take some of that old brick down, save it,
No,
reinforce the
I do that.
inside, and put it back up to where you're using the historic material and the visual presentation of the village remains the same, you can talk to us about that. What you can't talk about is a contemporary expression and covering up historic material facing us.
Yes.
No, I don't
Okay.
necessarily disagree. I mean,
Okay.
somehow
great.
the
Then you're the
So-
man of the job.
So when do you,
previous
how long do
board
you
Can't
think?
wait to see it.
So how long, when do you think you can come back?
I need to go and speak to my,
What, do you want to adjourn for a month or a,
yeah, it needs, because I also
Okay.
need then this structural engineering.
okay, are there comments from the public?
For me, it's straightforward. It's,
Yeah.
it's a structural engineering question.
Okay. Are there-
Aesthetically, I don't have an issue. Look what I did to Woolden Manor in
Yes,
the 90s.
I hear you. Thank you. Are there comments from the public? Great. So with that, when would you like to adjourn this to? Here are your
Just
choices.
July
Your choices are
13th,
July
or-
13th or 27th.
27th.
Okay. So motion to accept the applicant's request for an adjournment for 16 Gin Lane to July 27th. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great. We'll see you
I have
then.
your
Thank
phone.
you.
Yes.
Everything's all adjourned when you're away.
Thank you.
Well, there is that. Okay. So that takes us to public hearings non-historic. The first one is 78 McGree Street. Thank you.
That's a mess, that thing.
Good evening.
My name is Cezary Kropivnicki. I'm owner of property 78
Yes.
Maggie Street.
Yes, welcome back. All right, if you'd like to take us through your changes, sir.
He didn't.
If you'd like, go ahead and take us through your changes.
Last time we spoke about chimney.
Yep. Can you lay your paperwork out so they can pick it up on camera? Thank you. Okay.
It was all about the top of the chimney. We changed that, everything. We make, nice, smooth with ceramic, and this way it will fit more to the Southampton area.
Wasn't there also a question about the garage?
I think
Wasn't there also a question about the garage?
he changed it.
I changed that. There was a garage facing street. We moved the garage door to the side.
Okay. All right.
Then
I just
everything is-
remember there's a question about it. Okay, so I think, let me just through my notes, we were down to the chimney. Was that the last thing we were looking at?
Yeah.
Board
Yeah,
members?
we were
Okay.
getting close.
Okay, so you've seen it. Comments for the board? What?
I think it's improved.
Yeah. They were stucco before, correct?
No, it was
It was
more California style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still California style.
Before it looked like a lighthouse. Yeah.
Yeah,
You just bricked it.
still does
Yep.
kind of, but
Yeah,
I'm
you know,
sure straighter.
Yeah,
on paper.
instead of, I think what the board was looking for is a more
Straight.
typical, a chimney that comes down and then spreads out to the firebox and comes down, not one that's like lighthouse shaped. I think that's what I'm hearing, that people are looking for. I know you're trying to be different, but I think different in
It's
this
not
case.
about different. It's about my family. They like that.
Yeah.
And it's like,
different
I
street.
prefer not pay for staining and more for shingles, but my wife doesn't like natural cedar on walls because it
Okay.
turns black. I have both. That's it.
Well, the question
So-
comes down
What
to
is that?
board. What do you think of the chimney?
What is that?
This
sample you have?
this is shingles, pressed stain, and this is the color of the house.
Pre-stained shingles,
Yeah, it's
that
deep.
color.
What they're called,
Yeah.
they're not
That's not
cedar,
helpful.
they're treated.
No, this is cedar.
It's painted ahead of time.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah,
trim color?
stain. And trim color is very similar, light gray color. I have those too. Trim and window all in the same color. Very light.
So have you done renderings for us recently? Have you rendered in that color? Because if I remember correctly, it was all in natural prior.
No, it was in light color.
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't think we understood that maybe, Quinn,
Maybe.
because he said shingle.
Yeah.
And there was some question on the garage, like we thought there were two colors. Do we remember that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking.
But obviously,
Need
I
to
don't
go
think
back
it was.
The renderings.
There we
Where are the renderings? Oh,
There we go.
they're from before.
Yeah.
Okey doke.
That was a couple of iterations ago, but
The color.
yeah. Your color hasn't changed. Have you changed the color since the original? The color's always been consistent.
This is exactly.
Yeah.
It's less roofing,
Yeah.
because this is like.
Oh,
I think,
sorry.
my opinion is it was where we are with the overall design of the house is much improved where we
Yeah.
started. We're just down to whether or not are we comfortable enough with the chimneys, or would we like to
I'm
see them
not.
look more traditional?
I'm not, I don't like it. I
Okay. You
think,
think it's inappropriate?
I do.
Okay.
I think,
I agree with
yeah,
Okay.
and I feel like that there are other issues that
Yeah.
that we've improved, but this is, I think this will really
Yeah,
make a
but I
difference.
can't remember how it was resolved.
Because it's front facing too.
Yeah,
It's in the front yard.
exactly.
Okay.
Two-tone, that's the garage.
There's an unusual detail in the front elevation where the windows cut into the,
Roof?
yeah, and I just,
Didn't he change that?
No,
Oh, you didn't?
no.
Yeah.
There was one
Well, he did.
issue with
The original
small
house, that
window on
was
the
about-
side where they
And
put
now-
that small shutters. And
Are you talking about how it looks like the skirt comes up halfway up the windows? Yeah,
Yeah.
I called that out.
it's like a cutout,
so,
and
yes.
it's just not necessary, because you could just have 2 windows instead of 3 on each.
Right.
Less, it could be less vertical.
Where are we at?
We're
Just
over
this
here
detail
somewhere.
here, this
Oh.
cutout.
Yeah.
So what, how was that resolved? Or it's just, it looks, this is dated
Well,
April
it's not
30th?
changed,
Wasn't
it's the same.
changed.
It wasn't changed.
Okay.
So it sounds like to me the two issues we have are the two windows that cut into the roof line over
The garage.
of the garage. And I think you're not getting support for the,
over the garage.
for the shape of the chimneys, the atypical shape of the chimneys. Because
So-
and like the cap and, even the cap and chimney pot is sort of unusual to what we would see here, and more harmonious to what we see in the village. But I think the straight chimney with the water chimney box is going to be probably, because it faces the front of the house, people aren't supporting the shape of your chimney.
What, and it's a white brick also. Is that your?
Yes.
Yeah, and not only is it the shape, it's
And it
also
will
bright
blend
color.
in the body
Yeah.
of the house.
It's the trim color, right? Everything.
It's
Yeah,
also-
and that's its.
Then
brick.
chimney will be not
Those
visible.
are all
Yeah.
three of the samples. That's the shingled brick,
Right, okay.
and the trim is that brick.
Those are the two issues.
Getting closer.
So I would suggest is come back to us with the, a more traditional chimney design that's straight with a wider firebox that looks more traditional against the traditional house, and resolve the issue with how the two windows cut into the roof line over the garage, and then I think you're there.
Over the garage window.
Nina, you're talking about right here,
The
right?
front, the
Exactly.
part
I
of the
think it's
garage that
necessary.
faces the street,
Right, this,
right there.
this cut down here.
Yeah.
Totally.
To
Okay.
simplify it.
Okay, front of the garage, what issue with windows?
No,
There
the
are
front
two
elevation.
windows.
The issue is that that you're cutting down into the roof line and coming in to put those windows there, so that resolution, they're not finding harmonious.
Okay, but then should I remove those windows?
Oh, just, can't you resolve the
Or
roofing?
resolve,
This is
or
bedroom.
resolve the roof line to where the roof line comes below the windows. But that's your choice.
You could make the windows less vertical, maybe that would be.
i.e. smaller.
Okay?
Yeah.
And could we also suggest that you investigate some additional colors with brick? I think that would help your story with the fireplaces.
Okay. Are there any comments from the public?
I think it's too much.
Okay.
So do we?
When would you like to come back for the next meeting?
You know what? I don't have choice, but I will try find another solution.
Okay. So motion to accept the applicant's request for an adjournment till June 22nd for 78 McGee Street. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, so that brings us up to 265 Downs Path. Evening.
CEO Liu, architect. I was in front of the board last time.
Yep.
And the board asked for rendering and color sample.
So I think gorgeous.
So the siding is going to be HB20 or HOP. I couldn't really say the correct words. I didn't change that. Oh. H2BO, and it's this color, and I brought a bigger piece so you can see better. That's the siding, okay, and the roof is going to be cedar roof, and the window is going to be white, and marble white, and everything else just matches the white that we have from the window. And we removed the skylights that was not agreeable, and this is the rendering. We actually rendering, nobody really see that really that way, and this is a picture of what it looks like now, and that will be the rendering, and that's the front. And then we can talk about the rear. So the rear, the thing that everybody was pointed out, the column for the trellis, and organized it so that it frames the existing door opening. And the light, I took out the bottom two, which is not needed, and put it on top, where the balcony needs a light. And Quinn did pointed out that the light is a little tall. I shortened it, but it's kind of limited of how much I can shorten it because I'm trying to keep the same proportion of the light. I did shorten it. That's, I have a rendering. This is the rendering of the rear. You actually never gonna see this either because they have a huge groove of the cherry trees.
You know we don't care. That's beside the point if you're going to see it.
I'm saying this view doesn't quite exist.
Okay.
Just pointed out, and this is a big groove of cherry tree right here. And I did print out the existing, which is you see two pieces, one on the left and one on the right, because of the trees in the way, so I couldn't do a side by side.
Now,
the front.
Did they have those dormers
the dormers are pre-existing, I think, but they're really bad.
Yeah. Were those dormers there originally?
Yes.
Here's the original.
Dormer in the front.
Not
But
it's like 7 of them,
But
isn't
since we're redesigning the whole house, do they have to be? That's a question, yeah.
The dormer in the front, this
6.
is existing.
Okay.
And then over the garage, I have 2, and I find it quite weird, so I added 1 to match the other 2.
But what do those dormers go to? I know the ones over the garage. The ones over the house, did they just go to the attic?
Yeah, it's in the attic.
Because honestly, I would tell you to lose them because I don't know there's a nice way to say this. What we took was a more charming house that had three garage doors facing the street, which we don't love, and you've changed that. But it had a lovely front, then it had an arched over the door, and just the house had balance. And now we've taken all the character out of it, and we have a flat house facing. The dormers are too heavy on the top of the house. I think the heaviness of the pediment over the door against the dormers, when I see it in rendering, have taken the charm out of the house in a way that I don't think is helping the neighborhood.
Which dormer are you talking about?
Three.
But,
the ones over the garage, when there were 2, I understand a little bit more because that's the second story than the ones over 3, which are actually the dormers to nowhere. So, and they also, it brings your eye up to the house instead of making the house settle back down into the earth, if you will, which this house used to do, and how it was colored and how it presented itself to the street. And now all that sort of charm the roof lines have gotten bigger at the second story a little bit, and the entrance and the pediment have gotten heavier, but what we've lost is sort of a sophistication and charm of this house as it faces the street. And I think the sharpness of the pediment and the heaviness of the 3 dormers over the main portion of the house have a lot to do with that.
This part has a finished room here. This is.
I know,
bedroom.
I'm not
And,
talking about those, with the one, see up
and
there where
then
the 3 dormers to nowhere?
The attic is actually going to be finished.
Okay, then,
So we do need the dormers. They are
well,
finished.
or you need another solution that are not 3 sort of out of scale proportion dormers. I know they're pre-existing, but you're redoing the whole house. I don't know, it doesn't, it looks like a builder house from another neighborhood, not this
Yeah.
one.
But
And I don't know how we solve that.
We do need the dormers, though.
Oh, no,
These are
no, you
the-
don't need the dormers, you need light. So dormers is one solution, but you can also look and see if you can find another solution that's more harmonious and more interesting to the house as it faces the street. Or am I wrong?
No, you're 100% right.
Oh, but these are existing, though.
Yeah, but you're redoing the whole front of the house, so like, what we have to look at is now is the whole, because the porch was existing, but you changed it. Right now, as it's facing the street, it looks like frankly, it looks like a purchase plan house from another neighborhood, not this one, and I think the dormers are part of the problem, and maybe the color, but there's just, the charm that was in this house is now missing. And I feel like it feels inappropriate to this neighborhood, and maybe that's just me, but that's how I feel.
I think there might be other opportunities that might get more light to that 3rd floor for you, besides the little pocketed dormer.
Because the house itself has lost its sort of traditional grounding. It's gone to traditional grounding. So now you have a traditionally grounded house with a very traditional, the heaviness of all the dormers you've got going on, they're fighting each other. A shed dormer might be better.
Front porch, then it would
Yeah.
give you a stronger center over the front door.
Did you not have any reason to preserve any of the original house?
We preserve most of it.
Oh, no, but just the entry partie, for example, is
Oh,
very
because
elegant.
the reason is I showed it to you. The original house. The house.
Not the plan, just the elevations. I mean, there's quite a lot of, as Mark was mentioning, there's quite a lot of character and charm in the original elevations, and I'm just wondering why
Oh,
you
because
weren't inspired to keep some of the original, good, positive assets of the original house.
Because this is you see the house originally was entering from here actually. And then they did an addition and then they pushed this entrance to the side. And now the house is actually quite weird when you come in here, it's off center. So we actually bring it a little bit more towards the center. It's not entirely more in the center, but it's much better oriented in terms of the layout. And it is more of a layout driven in this particular case because if you look at the house, it's really very off center.
Yeah, I'm not
The
talking about the
entrance.
plan organization, I'm talking about the elevation, the original elevation,
We
the
pretty
character
much
of the windows and
Mhm.
the curved entrance top, all of those things are gone. I'm just
So
wondering.
we did keep the basic house is kept. We are shrunken this a little bit and move the entrance.
Oh,
more
come on,
towards the center.
you've completely refenestrated this house.
Yeah.
All the fenestrations and window openings are rearranged.
Yeah.
The balance of the house is completely different, and now it just looks like the interior of the house is dictating the exterior of the house in an unfortunate way.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
and because there are so many lovely houses on this street, I think this particular house on that street is not harmonious with neighbors around it, because I think it does not look as organized and sophisticated as its neighbors, and I think we need to figure out a solution for that that's more appropriate.
To be honest, I have a hard time to understand because, I know you make a lot of good suggestions. When I understand, I can go forward, and then this one, I have really a hard time to
Well,
understand.
everything, here's a suggestion.
Mhm.
Everything I see facing the street is hard. The angle of the pediment over the front door is hard. All the windows are square. Everything's hard. When you look at the original house that had the charm to it, there was an arch over the door. There was a round or an oval oriel window that broke up a lot of the squareness of the house. There were design elements of the house that made it work, and color was brought in to sort of harmonize the house. In this case, we've blanded the entire thing out into sort of a one-color presentation, into all hard edges, in a way that it doesn't look as friendly or appropriate. Anybody, any other suggestions that will help here?
Yeah, because I found it a little
Because
rough
I
here.
understand we need to help you. But that's sort of your job to figure out for us, but I can tell you what I'm seeing, and what I'm seeing I find difficult.
So I think all those dormers marching across the roof, that it would be great if some of them didn't exist, or that you changed how you did it, at least on the main, not, you could leave them on the garage, although I think they're more obvious there for some reason, because they're lower. But it does seem, it's hard to explain.
It's even like what you did on the back of the house, which I think you really did a good job appropriately rescaling those top floor windows down, and it kind of looks back to what the old version of the house was, but it was appropriate, like, changes that helped soften that big back wall too. And I think it's doing some of the same idea to the front.
So is the dormers more offensive on the main roof or the more offensive on the garage?
The main house. At least to me, at least the dormers in the garage go to a second story, and they at least are organized over windows below.
And that's not, if you took them away, that wouldn't solve all the problems.
Right.
I can't explain it. It's almost,
Well, I do have a finished garage, attic right now. They don't want to build out more, because
Right.
they just want to
Well,
use the
again, what I can tell you
square footage for
is there are
the-
other solutions that bring light in besides dormers that you may need to explore. Because one thing you have done is taken, other than the pediment across the front of the front door, you've actually taken the traditional expression of this house away and made it into a transitional house. And I think a different kind of expression for dormers that are more transitional to match into the house may make it look like a whole. Because I completely agree with Quinn that what the back of the house actually looks great. I think it's organized, it's harmonious, and it's balanced. And that's not what's happening yet in the front of the house, and that's what we need to see.
Okay.
Okay?
Work on it a little bit more.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions from the public? Okay.
Pergola looks much better too.
Pardon?
The way you've cleaned up the pergola and aligned
Yeah.
all the columns,
yeah.
much better.
Yeah.
So basically, our next focus is just the front elevation, the dormers, right? And anything else?
I think I would say just the dormers. I would say the
the-
front elevation, the
yeah,
way it faces the street, needs to be.
The sweep of the roof,
Yeah.
if you, of the main
Yeah.
part, it's also very monotonous, would you not
Yeah.
say?
Mhm. Okay,
It needs,
Personality.
yeah.
Right now, it just, yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But the back, we are good.
My opinion is the back of the house is a lot more successful right now than the front.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Agree.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
we'll focus on the front, and then
Yep.
I'll bring over a new design, especially the top.
All right. When would you like to come back? The next meeting is the 22nd.
Next
Okay.
meeting.
Motion to accept the applicant's request for adjournment for 265
did we
Downs
take
Path
public
to June
comment?
22nd. I
Did you ask? Okay.
Yes.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Next meeting is
June 22.
2 weeks.
What? June 22nd?
Yeah.
Correct.
22, right?
After the,
Is that right? Yeah,
after
it's the Monday after the election.
how about the open?
It's the middle of the open, yeah.
It's going to be everything.
Traffic will be horrible.
It'll be right when it finishes the day
Sunday.
before, right?
Yeah.
The 21st.
Oh, then we'll be okay then.
No, we
Okay.
won't. They start
That's loadout day.
dismantling.
That's loadout day, yeah. Okay, so that brings us up to new matters, 114 Layton Avenue.
14.
14 Layton Avenue.
I have the affidavits in there in order.
Great. Hello?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. If you'll introduce yourself, please, sir.
I'm Olivier Vidal, the architect for this little addition of a garage to an existing single-family house.
Okay. All right. If you want to take us through it.
So we try to make it as simple as possible, extending the same cladding as the existing building, having the handrail painted blue white like all the trimming of the house too. And we are changing the access to the property from the right to the left because of the access to the parking, and we could not keep the two curb cuts.
So you're taking what was sort of a room and converting it into a garage.
No. Is that already there?
You see,
No, I'm in my mind wrong.
Is that true?
We
No.
have two of these tonight.
You're adding
Oh,
a
yeah.
separate.
You're just adding this to it. All right.
Okay.
All right.
That's my understanding. right?
Okay.
no, we're changing the septic tank and everything
Okay,
because,
that's not our
but
interest.
that's not for you, it's,
Yeah. Okay, hang on.
so as you can see.
So tell me about, let's start with what's going on the roof of that garage. Is that a balcony? Is there access to that roof? Is there access, is there roof, access to the roof that's over that garage? Is it a deck?
Yeah, from
Yeah.
the master
Yeah,
bedroom, it
Yeah.
it
We
will
don't.
be used as a
Yeah.
terrace.
No, it won't.
No
We will
way.
never approve that. We don't
You
approve, we
won't
don't,
approve
no,
that?
and especially that one because it faces the street. And we're on a place where the lots are very tight and the sight lines and
Okay,
to the
so
neighbors,
that's not an issue because we can,
put a roof.
you know,
Okay.
So-
because originally we had a roof there, but it was making the thing too big.
Okay.
So we just are not going to open that window which is there, that's all.
Okay. Board members, other comments, questions?
What, is there a reason why it's a double wide lot, correct? Double wide lot.
I think that's Jennings.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wrong place.
Yeah, we have two of these tonight with the
Oh,
garage
yeah.
with the deck over it.
It
Yeah.
just seems to. I don't have anything.
I think you have a charming home, the way it's laid out, and it looks like there's a block attached to the side of it that doesn't feel harmonious with the existing structure.
No, the house doesn't have any garage in it, really. And we're making just a one-car garage because we cannot make two.
What's in the
Mhm.
back?
But it sticks out. I mean, it's such a charming form.
Such a
and then you
charming
just-
house.
In this place where there are all these smaller houses, I love it over there. And it seems to kind of obliterate the charm. I know there's a lot of planting, but we have to look beyond that. So I find it kind of,
Would
I
you
don't know what
consider
to
a
say.
different shape on the roof line?
Excuse me?
Consider a different shape on the roof line that might look more appropriate with the roof line on your existing house?
Originally, we had an extension of the lower roof line to cover that.
yeah.
So
Come on up.
if you prefer that, we can do that. There's no issue.
Here's three things I'd like to think about. Could we, do you have the ability,
You know,
based on your
that,
floor?
that roof was extending, it was exactly, we're extending it over the existing building.
Say that again?
My session was that it was making it
Yeah.
a little bit too big.
Yeah. Well, okay, so here's a couple of questions and some suggestions that might be more harmonious to the house. First of all, could you push it back? Number one. Number two, can you figure out how to do it to where the door of the garage is centered? Because it's left off-center to the wall that it's on, and that makes it look odd. You need to figure out a roof line that's not a deck that makes it look harmonious, and right now it looks like a square contemporary garage pushed onto a contemporary house, so I don't think that the design of the garage is harmonious to the intent of this really beautiful structure. So I think there's another way to do it that's less jarring.
Could it be narrower? Is it 20 feet is the width that's being proposed? Is that right?
Excuse me?
Is it 20, what is the width that's proposed of the garage addition?
It's 20 feet,
Okay.
20 feet, but there is only one car garage because we have, in fact, it's a little less than 20 feet. It's
To your setback.
18.6 or something like that because of the setbacks from both sides.
Some of the plans that you have, like the site plan shows the garage forward of the existing house. Is that correct, or is that just a mistake the way that it's drawn?
No, the garage has been pushed back.
Yeah, that's what I see here, but it looks like in your site plan,
Yeah,
it's showing it
We
forward.
have pushed it back, yeah.
Okay. We may just need to update some of those documents.
Because that was one of the requests of the building department to be able to get two parking sites on the
Yeah.
left.
Well,
Right,
one
okay.
of the things that's probably hurting you, not helping you, you have a 12-foot 9-inch wide garage door. That's not a one-car garage door. That's a 1.5, because your garage door is 12 feet wide.
Yeah,
So the
that's
actual
more.
garage, according to your drawing here, the garage door is 12 feet 9 inches. So if the garage door, first of all, can go back, if you can rethink the roof and you scale the door back a little bit to where if it's truly a one-car garage, the interior can be a little wider, but the door itself seems out of proportion. It's neither a 1 nor a 2, but it seems an odd proportion. And it's also forcing it to look so off-center to what's and we don't like garage doors that face the street to start with. Off-center ones we like even less, because they're not really appropriate to that street. So I think you're just going to have to sort of rethink it to where it's more harmonious and it has a more friendly relationship to the existing beautiful house. And that's such a charming house, and it's such a not charming garage at the moment.
What stops you from having a detached garage? I see the building behind there, right? Is that the pool house?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is there room for the pool house back there and the garage?
That would be a second accessory structure. I don't know.
It would be allowable from a gross floor area perspective, but it would have to meet the required setbacks and separation from the structures.
So
And
that
you don't
must
think
have
that
been
would
the
happen?
original
That
garage.
had to be, yeah. On that street, all those
Yeah.
garages were back in that
In the
corner.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so why isn't this one?
Because they made it a
No,
pool
it's 'cause
house.
they made it a
I
pool
get
house,
that,
yeah.
but is there room, they can't put the pool house up?
I'd have to look at the site plan where the driveway would go
Yeah.
next to the pool.
I don't know,
Yeah.
that seems to me
Yeah, it's another good solution.
that's why there aren't any attached like that on that street. Because it looks like an afterthought. And it just doesn't go with it. The thing in the back, if that were the garage, you'd be scot-free, be fine.
Well, right now, if you put a driveway back to that, you'd drive through the pool.
Yeah.
I don't see the pool.
Well, here it is,
Yeah,
here it
it's
is on the
there.
plan, though.
Oh.
All right, so I think you've heard your job is actually, our job is to tell you what our concerns are, and your job is
I
to
don't
find
know
the
that I can
solution.
do anything,
Okay.
in fact, because I've been playing with it different ways, and it just doesn't work because it would block the windows upstairs, so there's no way. So let's be realistic.
All right.
This is
Are there any comments from the public?
what?
I'm asking if anybody else has comments. Okay.
I don't believe that pool house was a garage, but it is where the original detached garage was.
Would have been.
Yes,
yeah.
there was a detached garage on that property in the
The
past.
original one's
And
probably
they
farther and
chose-
closer,
and
yeah.
they chose
It was
to
at that
eliminate it.
location,
Someone
yes.
chose to eliminate it.
Yeah,
So
and build a
maybe
pool
they
there.
just can't have a garage now.
Yeah,
Or a garage.
that's a choice.
And
All right, so do you want to adjourn, or are you going to abandon?
I'm gonna see if I can do something, but I think it would always be too big for this property.
Okay.
From
What I
you're
would
saying.
encourage you to do is,
Excuse me?
what I would encourage you to do is drive around in some of the streets. There are very few street-facing garages. This is a very small lot. We don't normally like street-facing garages, but there are a few. Drive around and see how they've attached them to the
No,
other more
I've
traditional
seen
houses.
many, yeah.
Okay,
I'm
well,
not
okay, so on that note then,
completely stupid.
I'm going to adjourn you,
Excuse me.
I'm going to adjourn you to the
Okay.
22nd. Motion to adjourn the application for
Thank you
14
for your
Layton to
help.
June 22nd. Is there a second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, so next up we have 43 Jennings Avenue.
I need affidavits.
Oh, thank you.
That's a good thing. Hi, nice to see you.
Good evening.
Affidavits are in order.
Good evening.
This is a street-facing garage too?
Yep.
Good evening, I'm Ben Chaliff and Rogers Architects for the applicant.
He's a good architect.
Okay.
I see now your confusion about Dutch colonials and garages. There's two of them.
Yeah.
Back to
Yeah,
back.
and they
Yours is the double up, but go ahead and for that.
have a jutting out, yes.
So a brief overview.
Okay.
There are additions and renovations proposed to this existing house, including first floor, pushing out the kitchen, a grand total of 1.5 feet to the north and rear, adding and extending it slightly to the east, adding a mudroom, which is attached to said one-car garage. There would be a finished basement with a bedroom below that, with its area well stair to the east side. We are reconfiguring the only bathroom on the first floor, which is currently a powder room, reconfiguring that slightly, and then extending a second-story addition for a new primary suite to the north. And we are adding 6 feet to the east of the house, extending the gambrel form in order to provide that mudroom and extension to the kitchen and expand the upstairs bedrooms a little bit. What else? There's a Juliet balcony on the primary suite facing east and towards the pool. Very minimal depth, and there is a proposed deck over the garage, as you may have mentioned and seen. It's funny, I struggled with the addition to a Dutch colonial like this is a little bit tricky with the roof form. So coming at perpendicular, the main addition to the north seemed the obvious choice to me. When I was basically done with this preliminary design, I noticed that across the street and one lot to the east is a slightly smaller scale version with very similar modifications. A second floor deck that's visible from the street with French doors coming out, and an addition, in their case it's to the south but away from the road, with also a Juliet balcony. So I do feel it is appropriate for the neighborhood.
Okay.
We will be continuing the material selection. Natural cedar perfections for the roofing, white painted cedar perfections for the siding, white trim package to match the existing, copper half-round gutters to match the existing, and wood windows. We're still determining exactly what manufacturer those would be, but we want to match what's there. They're actually black, which you can't quite tell because there's storm windows in place right now. There may be one where there's a missing storm window. You can see that the windows are black. I don't know how original that is, but it adds a little color and intrigue to my eye, so that the plan is to match that. And then we will have wood screens and wood storms interchanging.
Okay. Board members.
When was this house built, do you know? The
Not-
original house? Good question. I do believe it is the early 20s, but I need to check that.
This house?
The original house that's there?
I'm not sure about that.
It could be later.
I think, I knew someone
There's some
who-
parts of it that I mean, there's still the weight and chain windows, first of all.
Oh,
They're single
okay.
pane. There's an interesting little fire alarm system in the basement.
Oh,
which,
okay.
There sort of there are some 50s houses and there are
yeah.
also some 30s houses.
Yeah, it could be 30s.
Yeah.
but-
It could be 30s. I would think 30s, but still, it's 20s to 30s, yeah. From my standpoint, the deck is a no. just because there may be one across the street, but that was approved by somebody else, we just don't approve them. Number one, it's the, driving down the street, watching people sunbathe, we're really not interested in. And number two, I think this is a particular party deck, and especially in Jennings, on this street where the lots are very narrow, you have a lot of neighbors around you, the opportunity for light and sound pollution to the neighbors and sightline interference with privacy is just too grand, so we don't do it. The smaller Juliet balcony over the master, especially, and it's not even the master bedroom, the smaller Juliet balcony seems a little bit more protected than the big massive parking. Because this is a double lot, the same problem we have with the other one, I don't know that the connection of the garage to the house is successful. We'd prefer it if you could arrange it to where you would come in and from the side and the garage door doesn't face the street. You seem to have a lot of land, and this is a double lot, right? Because they tore a house down.
It is.
So there's plenty of way to turn and make that turn from, sort of rethinking the entrance or maybe a double curb cut. And I think that would be more harmonious to that neighborhood as well.
We're using the existing curb cut.
All right, well,
And the rotating at 90 degrees would cause a lot more circulation.
All right.
It's screened behind, where actually the plan, you can see, I don't know if you have the survey, the existing hedge line continues from the southeast corner of the
Yeah.
house, basically due east.
yeah, we've driven by it. yeah.
Pretty well established privet that we're going to move those same privet south
Okay.
to the property line.
Okay.
So, okay. Continue, please, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Mr. Chairman.
my comment is I would prefer if you figured out a path to where the the garage door doesn't face the street, and a different alternative that does not include a large deck, especially a street-facing or side-facing deck that's publicly viewable. It's just not, we're just not going to approve it.
Okay, well, so again, houses can change ownership, but the reason why we're adding bedrooms here is their family is currently expanding.
It's just
It's would actually be the grandmother and the nursery room that had access to the deck. They don't intend to throw
Yeah.
wild parties. They're not
You
going
know
to
what?
be there playing music.
Doesn't
You
matter.
know, it doesn't matter. We have, if you've watched these meetings for the last 2 years,
Yeah.
we haven't approved one. I've been on the board 7 years.
Okay,
We've
well,
never,
that's not part of
and
it.
we've never approved a large, we don't really approve large second-floor balconies, and we really don't approve balconies that are visible from the street.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
there's one directly.
Well,
almost
that may
directly
be,
across the street.
I must not have been on the board when that happened, but I can promise in my 7 years, this board has never approved one that I'm aware of.
Well, I know prior to your tenure that was a.
I'm not going to repeat somebody else's mistake then, so.
No, I
Yeah.
was going to say that was a behavior of one of the boards prior to you, that they
That-
generally didn't
Yeah.
approve second floor
Yeah.
decks, but then again, I
Right.
see one across the street, so it's
Right.
not like it wasn't happening, it's that it's already in the neighborhood is my point.
But I guess my
Yes,
point
but-
is more of them are not going to be, so that's a non-starter.
Okay, also the house to the west, it's not facing the road, but they have a balcony that faces north into the rear of the lot also. So again, me seeing a neighborhood with several second floor decks and balconies in it, I thought that perhaps the village had changed.
And I appreciate that.
changed their
I
site.
appreciate that, but we haven't. And
Okay.
as you heard from the last house, there's there's certain sort of standards we apply to, this board applies to all houses, and that's sort of one of them, so.
Even though it's not in this
I
district.
It doesn't matter. I think it's just houses. As a matter of fact, outside the house, what it's more about is neighbors,
Mhm.
sightlines,
Right.
noise, pollution, all those things can annoy other neighbors and take away other neighbors' privacy, and we just don't do it. So it's a non-starter. So you just.
So in the code, it says the relation to buildings to one another is one of the considerations that the board
Well, I
should.
get that, but again, because this is a wide lot,
I
that's
think
why.
I think we can quit talking about this because you're not going to have the votes for it. So what I'm going to say is, I think it's time to think of a different solution.
Okay, if those were windows and not doors out to they still need light and ventilation there on the east side, so can that be the treatment up here with the balustrade, but there would be only windows going out to there, not doors?
What I'm going to tell you is you can bring to us anything you want us to consider. What I would ask you to consider is how's that big, large, flat roof going to look
Right.
that doesn't have any purpose?
Okay.
Is there another solution that does? That might be more harm, because then it's not, then it's going to look like it runs the risk, Because the rest of the house, I think, the balance and the work they've done is great. On this, I think you run the risk of looking like an industrial garage stuck onto a 1930s traditional house. So I would just I would urge caution.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Thank you.
I can tell from the Sanborn maps the house dates between 1916 and 1926.
Great. There you go. Okay. Any other questions or comments from the public?
Oh,
You have to come to the microphone, please. To the microphone, please.
I just want to...
Can you start by introducing yourself,
I'm Heidi
please?
Brown. I live across the street at 36 Jennings Avenue. And I just wanted to mention to the board, I wanted to thank you for your diligence with regard to the proposed plans. Obviously, this is going to be a big project, and balconies and privacy and all that is an issue for us. So that's all. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else?
Christina Gale, 48 Jennings. I'm directly across the street. And I agree with what Heidi said about the balcony and the privacy, because the balcony he's referring to that's down the road, it's set back a little bit. It's not off a garage. So for me, I don't really care for the flat garage or the deck. And I would almost put out there if the garage couldn't be set back, detached and set back, because there was a garage once upon a time that was set back before they incorporated the two properties.
Right.
Yeah.
The swimming pool's in the way of that,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay. You've heard the comments. When would you like to come back? The next meeting is June 22nd, or we can move into July. It'd be July 13th.
It's not the birthday present I was thinking of.
No?
Let's do the 22nd.
Okay, so motion to accept the applicant's request for an adjournment to June 22nd for 43 Jennings Avenue. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so that takes us into driveway gates, new matters. The first one is 60 Culver Street. Do you have the affidavits and are they in order?
Yes.
Did we skip Town's Path?
Oh, what? Sorry, I'm wrong. I skipped one. The next one is 120 Downs Path.
You want to get to the Knicks game, too.
Yeah.
But it doesn't start till like 8:30, right?
8:30.
Okay.
Okay, have a good night.
Okay.
I have affidavits on this one, too.
Oh, thanks.
Go for it.
Oh, this one, yes.
I do. Sure, why not? Thanks.
Good evening. If you'll introduce yourself, please.
Good evening. Will Minier, architect, 67 Hampton Road, Suite 203. I'm the architect for the project I'll be presenting.
Okay.
I have the presentation on Zoom, so I'm joining in via hotspot. Wi-Fi is down. Hopefully this works. So our application includes demolishing the existing residence on the property. This is the existing residence. It was constructed in 2004, I believe. It's approximately 5,670 square feet above grade. The property includes a pool and a tennis court. Aerial view, you see this is our property. The house next door, which is newer, and this is accurate. On another view we have, this is an older house, and the home's across the street. I do have some photos, more photos of the house from the street.
It's okay. It's okay. I think our job is to drive by and look at it.
Okay. And then the neighbors, just to show you context, that's the house next door. These are the homes
Yeah.
across the street. Bring up a site plan to start. So the current house is 6,100 square feet, so it's a little larger. If I show you on the site plan, the current house sort of extends south further, past where we're building, almost as far north as ours, so the footprints are very similar.
Okay, let me help you. You'd like us to deal with the demolition request first?
I would.
Okay. So you're not in a historic district. This house was built in when?
2004.
Okay, 2004. So the question from this board is there anything about this house that you would consider to a landmark?
No.
Okay. So I'm going to motion that the Board of Architecture Review and Historic Preservation will not seek landmark status for 120 Downs Path. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that means what happens now is if we choose not, in a non-historic district, if this board chooses not to seek a status for the house, then he can issue a demolition permit.
Got it.
So now we can move on.
You didn't get landmarked. Well.
Landmark
Got it.
status,
Thank
sorry,
you.
landmark status for the house. So now we can move on to what you'd like to build.
Great, okay, great. So site plan, house, similar size to what's current. The house, to the owners, is their vision for a classical Hamptons home. It's a shingled home, center hall with gables, sweeping gables. The materials I have brought here. The renderings do their best to show the trim is this color. It's a Benjamin Moore HC 168. On the drawings, it's just called out as dark gray, but we can be more specific. That is the color for the trim. The shingle itself is a painted shingle. It's a Benjamin Moore color AF 100, and that would be the shingle color. The windows are a dark bronze, so the actual framework of the Marvin windows are a dark bronze. Has some additional renderings I can share.
And what color is the metal roof there?
The metal roof, as well as the gutters, which we don't show on the renderings, is a lead-coated copper. It's a gray color. So this aerial view, as I mentioned, the house next door is the old house. But just to put it in context, the size of the home versus the surrounding, in lieu of a tennis court, padel court is being proposed here. We are trying to go in front of the planning board just to talk about this and what has to be required. The pool house sort of moves between the tennis and the pool. The pool is more centered. Rear house, there are no second floor terraces on this house. Off the living spaces are pergolas. The back sort of mimics the front with the sweeping gables. This view gives you a glimpse of the pool house, which is one story, has sort of a cathedral space in the middle, outdoor shower off to the side. There is a kitchen here on the plan, and sort of another view of the house. I do have the CAD drawings, which I can, point out materials and show you about. We did have a landscape drawing done, and really this was also to address the padel court, but the perimeter screening is to remain. There will be foundation screenings around the front of the house, around the parking area, and then in closing, I guess, the fence, the pool enclosure. There are 2 lights on the house. We don't show them on the renderings, but this is a dark sky compliant fixture. It's actually on the back of the house in the pool house, so you don't see this from the street at all. There's one door in the back of the house in the pool house where this light would go. Any questions?
That's my question. Board members, questions, comments?
I think the front elevation, I think the front door looks woefully under scale. And I think in general, the fenestration, the scale is odd to me. I don't know. I would have another look at that. I think it
I would
looks like
agree.
a side door, or not a front door.
Gwen, Nina, Susan?
I would
I
agree.
agree.
Front
I
door-
thought
front door is
that's the only
very-
thing I think.
I thought I was looking at a side.
Mhm.
I don't mind the windows. But the door.
Missing the core center.
Right. Normally,
Yeah.
normally you would see a larger door, 2 side lights, and something that signifies this is the entrance to the house. When you have the single door, and especially, is that a clear glass door?
Yes.
Yeah, no. Normally, what we'd like to see is a solid door with side lights that gives you, when you drive up to a house, it gives presence to the entrance of the house. So it looks mingy, and it looks, to Kathy's point, it looks like a side door, not a front entrance. It doesn't have that presence. I don't love the fact that you have all these sweeps to make the house look like it's been there longer, because that's like borrowing history, because normally that happens on houses that have been there for a while. So, and I think what Kathy may be, you might be, I think if you changed the front door and gave it a little more presence, that would help. But I think perhaps the scale of all the windows across the front and the sameness of it looks a little monotonous. I think if we can figure out some sort of solution that gives some design personality to it.
Change the window over the front door.
Yeah.
That would do it. I don't
Yeah.
mind the sweeps, just so you know. I think they're kind of heavy, those ones over on the second floor too.
Yeah, I do too.
The bottom, I think the first floor windows have a kind of dignity. The second floor ones seem more, almost like doctrinaire. These are all the wrong words to use, but they have a kind of weight.
Also, can I ask what's happening in the peaks of each of the?
There's a diamond hatch, sort of shingle that are in the upper
Like
gable
a
detail.
Harlequin pattern shingle?
Diamond, yeah.
I think it makes them look awfully pointy.
Yeah.
There's something about it, it looks very.
That's another like
Pointy
borrowing
with
from
that.
history. If the
Yeah.
house was from the 1890s, I'd say
I'm defending
absolutely.
that, so what?
Yeah.
Like I said, this is their sort of envision of classical, and you'll know after
Right.
this was submitted, we changed the door. So the door does have side lights, which
Oh.
we will come back to you and show you.
Well,
with any
don't
other
hide it
comments that you
from
may have.
us.
Yeah, so good
Great.
forecasting.
We're trying.
Good forecasting.
What did you change?
You said
The front
it's already
door.
been changed.
The
Then why
front
are we
door.
here? If you've changed the
Doesn't he
house,
have to-
why am I looking at a house that you've already changed?
No, well, this was submitted a month ago.
Okay.
And since this meeting, the owners have decided they'd like a different door, so.
But
in
again, I'm
addition-
looking at a house that you don't want.
Well, this
So-
was submitted a month ago.
Oh,
In ad- in
okay,
addition-
so a month ago
But
you
you
could
have to
give us
revise
drawings that match what you'd actually like to build.
Up
Here's the
until
funny
last
thing.
Thursday.
Yeah,
So
up
I
until
can-
last
I can-
Thursday. The whole point of we spent a lot of time looking at plans, so to give us plans that aren't what you want to build is not optimal. So anyway,
All right.
It
So
was
you've
past
heard
the
where we need to
deadline,
go.
And then you would have yelled at him
Yeah.
if he
What?
brought in new
I
plans.
didn't realize we could
All
do
right.
that. I thought.
Up until the
You
Tuesday
can't.
prior to
Yeah.
the meeting,
Yes,
you
you
can
can
submit,
change the
you could submit revised plans
So anyway.
to the building department.
all right.
I did not know that.
So-
It's good to know.
So what I'm hearing, what I'm hearing is the issues across the front of the house. It seems, and all the way around the house, it seems very strict, very rigid in its peak and design. The peaks seem they peaky, just because they seem overemphasized. If there's another architectural solution that doesn't overemphasize the peaks so much, I think that may give it a little more sophisticated presence to the street. The door issue we've clearly talked about. Hey, guys, any questions or comments about the back?
I would look at the fenestration on the front windows,
Yep.
I think
top to
I
bottom.
still like the
Yeah.
peaks. I think if the fenestration were reduced or not so monotonous, the peaky part might not.
Might feel more appropriate.
Yeah, because, otherwise we're just,
Yeah. I mean-
you can't blame someone for not having the monotony of these houses that are built, where they all look alike. For instance, here, that doesn't look so peaky. Depends
I
on the
mean,
rendering.
I will
think
start
the
with, I'm glad,
windows are the
I will start with,
problem.
I'm glad they're replacing this house, because
Yeah.
Because you loved it?
Yeah, no, I'm glad they're replacing the
I'm
house, because
teasing you.
in that neighborhood, there's some beautiful houses now. There's been a lot of development in that neighborhood, and it's now a beautiful neighborhood. Some of the original houses that were built when they first built houses have been all changed, and it's a beautiful neighborhood, so. Any comments from the public?
While we wait for that, the board should note that due to a recent code change, the Padel Court is subject to site plan review by the planning board. So this application will be on the planning board agenda, and they'll have to approve screening, drainage,
Oh.
sound attenuation for the proposed
The Padel
Padel Court, which is different than tennis, which the board may be
That's
more
really
accustomed to.
Yes.
Does that prevent us from issuing an approval? I mean,
Not
it seems
for
like they're so
architecture.
unrelated.
Yeah, not for architectural review. I just wanted to point it out since it's on the
What's going to
plans.
change what the layout is?
Yeah, because we are.
Only if you had
we'll ask
particular
for a
thoughts about
landscape plan for
landscaping
sure.
might
Yeah.
be the only
I
part
think they'll
where
require one as well, I think.
Yeah.
they'll certainly require landscaping
Which.
specific to that.
I don't know if Justin's on.
Is
In
Padel noisy or is that-
in fairness,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There
do
is.
you sort of understand what the concerns of the board are?
glass walls.
I think so, yeah, I
Okay.
think so, yeah.
All right, I just want to make sure we get, just to help you, so when you come back.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I mean, another thing that's not obvious in the renderings, which There's some stone called out, base of the stoop, chimneys, the back barbecue. Do not have an exact sample here with me. Wasn't sure if that was going to be brought up.
Well, what I'm
Well,
going to
it would have
suggest is next time, make sure everything that you intend to build is in what we're looking at.
Okay.
And it matches what we intend to build. And then we'll comment on it all, I think. That's what I can tell you.
Is there a landscaping plan as well for some trees?
So there was part of the package, yes. It's on this page.
I found it in here somewhere. But now the Padel court is going to cause trouble.
Yeah, it is, but it looks like bushes. I don't see any big trees. You know, just sort of,
Yeah.
all of those houses kind of stick out from,
Yeah.
I don't know, just.
I mean, what we're not
Out
showing
on
in
the
front of the
prairie.
privet, there are trees, street trees, which are in front of this, which are staying. That's obviously not on their property.
But you're not planting a single tree,
Um,
or at least not in the current plan. This will change because this screening won't pass for the planning board, for the
Yeah.
Padel court. So this will change,
All right, so let's not waste time on it.
Right.
How's that?
because there's not enough screening around the Padel court. So that'll change.
God, it's controversial.
All right, so do you think the
Padel.
22nd works, or do
Yeah.
you want, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to motion to accept the applicant's request for an adjournment for 120 Downs Path to June 22nd. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So that brings us to, now we're back to new matters.
Garage-
Driveway
I mean,
gates
driveway
historic. The
gates.
first one is 60 Culver Street. You have the affidavits in there in order?
Yes.
Great.
This one's before she gets the worst job for her. I know.
Good evening. If you'll introduce yourself.
My name is Bryce McDonough from the County Architect.
Towards you, please. You're going to flip that 180 degrees. Thank you.
Representing Eddie Jennings for 60 Culver Street.
Okay.
Today, that's the blown-up version. This is the submitted version. Today we have a proposal for a driveway gate. There is currently 2 brick pillars sitting at the entranceway of the driveway that will need to come down. The new columns that will replace them will be of a similar size. And the actual gate will be solid pine painted white. And the positioning of the new gate will be set back 18 feet 1 inch from the average line of pavement, which will keep the new gate in line with the matured privets that exist on the adjacent lots currently. So it'll have the continuity down the street.
And you're 18 feet 1 inch?
Yes, sir.
Also keeps you 1 inch compliant. So, because there's an 18-foot requirement in the village,
Yes,
so,
sir.
okay?
Do you have photos of the brick pillars that you're removing?
I don't believe there are.
Okay, just want to make sure, because if we're in the historic district, we have to make sure that's not a contributing element.
Oh.
Yeah, we're in the historic district.
Great point.
Yeah.
So we don't have a picture of what they were taking down, huh? They were-
You don't have a photograph of it?
No, I don't currently have it.
To the pillars.
I can pull up a street view image if that's helpful.
That would be, I'm pretty sure it exists there.
And this was a house I believe the board recently approved as a tear down and rebuild?
Yes.
Okay. So that's helpful to know. Let me see if I can share it on the screen. Just give me one moment here.
Come on, Alex, save the day.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Try-
I don't know.
Here we go. Sage, if you can, oop, sorry about that. If you can let me into the Zoom, I'll share my screen. All right, here we
They
go.
have lights on them?
Coming in?
Yes, should be sharing shortly.
Oh, they don't look too old. But, okay.
They've got a big screaming
Were
number on
those
them.
there before, or those built?
I'm pretty sure those are existing. I'm unsure.
Pretty shiny.
You know what? I
Well,
hate
they go
say
back to
that-
at least 2012.
Yeah, you know what?
Oh, those might be.
Okay. You know what, I'm sorry, but I think we're gonna need to go by and just look at those and
Yeah.
understand what they are before we can actually make a comment on them. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, so I'm sorry you've sat here all this time to hear me say, I think you need to adjourn and come back on the 22nd.
Understood.
She
Okay.
said some other, you've been here before with this,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I
there you
haven't
go.
presented this gate, but I was here.
Yeah, but you had to wait till the end, isn't it, right?
Yeah.
It is what it
And
is.
the existing pillars can't be used for a gate because they're too close to the street, is that right?
I think he just doesn't like them.
Oh, I also think they're probably too close to the street to be used for.
Well, we
they
have to,
make the
we'll have to
drive-
know, oh, wait a minute, is that on the,
They should be noted on the survey.
should be on the survey, if that's true.
Because I think, didn't you say you're gonna rebuild them in the same location as the brick ones?
Yeah, just so that they're in line with those privets you see right there.
Well, you know what,
so
we gotta go look at it.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna motion to adjourn the application
So 622.
for 60 Culver Street to June 22nd. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we'll see you then. We have to go look at it. Okay, next up is new matters. Do you have the affidavits, and are they in order for 508 Wickapog Road?
I don't have them, no.
Okay,
Uh-oh.
but he does. Okay, don't get to the end and no affidavits. That would be sad for you.
This is why I say to send them. Okay, they're good.
You're good? Okay, if you'll have a seat and introduce yourself.
Yep, good evening, everyone. My name is Paulo Chuya. I represent BNE Old LLC. I'm the applicant for, we're proposing to build automatic driveway gates,
Okay,
which meets, village codes requirements, visibility. And the gate is gonna be built with Philippine mahogany, 2x4s. It's gonna be mortised with metal framing, painted black. The existing columns are brand new, made out of ASEC. They're gonna be removed. We're gonna meet the setbacks, about 20 feet from the edge of the pavement. The proposed columns are gonna be built out of the same material, painted black, about 18 by 80.
okay.
So, I didn't realize it was, the whole thing is black?
Yes.
The whole thing is black.
What?
The whole thing is black.
Paint's
That
mahogany.
might fit.
What did you say the transparency was?
Yeah, I don't see that either.
I'm not sure that I understand.
40.6, is that right?
Yeah. 40.6% visibility.
It doesn't look like that.
It can't be, it's gotta, you're 1-to-1, it's gotta be, you're 1-to-1 on your pickets to your spacing. Can't be.
Well, isn't that 50%?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not
Okay,
43.
just checking.
Yeah.
And
The
then,
edges of the
and then the framing.
gates take a little more room.
Yeah. The gates themselves is what we look at for transparency. There's no columns in the world that are transparent. All right. Board
And-
members.
I don't know about the black. Anyone else on that?
Anyone else on that?
It's on the slot,
It's over on Wickapog, yeah.
There is a set, the client loved there is a couple blocks down the road on Wickapog. There is a set of gates that she loved.
Are
It's
they
made
black?
out of steel, black.
Yeah.
She wanted
Wait.
to copy that, but the cost.
Oh, I know what one it is.
Yeah, we have a
Yeah.
lot of black gates in the village, yeah.
Yeah,
This is the property here? I don't know if this is,
No.
no? Oh, I'm sorry.
I think that's what was under construction. No, but that's not it.
Oh, okay, sorry about that.
That's-
Wrong
don't-
house.
Let's not talk about that one.
All right. So board members, what do you think?
Well, are we saying that the visibility,
Yeah,
The transparency ratio is okay?
it's 1-to-1.
Well, if you're 1.5 to 1.5, you'd be at 50% transparency. If you include the pillars, you'd go down to 43, but we'll generally look at the gates.
Okay.
But you don't include the pillars.
No.
You just want to be able to see
Through
through
it.
the gate.
Is this the one with the
But the,
existing white
but the thing
pillars?
that this doesn't take into consideration
The
is the
frame.
frame actually lowers that.
A lot.
Right.
But I don't think it lowers it below 40.
No.
And the location and the frontage is, and the size is big enough that
Right.
the 48 inches doesn't come into play.
Is this
So
right?
6 feet.
Yeah, that's
Okay, sorry,
So
I had the
6
wrong
feet is
address.
fine.
I don't know if
think
this is
I actually
helpful.
think it's fine. The controls are on the panel. There's no gooseneck.
Yeah, it also has black windows and trim.
Oh,
and
yeah.
black
Yeah.
mullions, so
I
that's
actually think it's appropriate to the house.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
just checking.
And the columns are white.
All right. Then with that, I'm going to motion to approve the gate application. For what address am I at this long night? The gate
508.
application for 508 Wickapog. Is there a second?
Second.
I'm sorry, I'm going to propose to approve the gate for 508 Wickapog based on drawings presented and stamped March 8th, presented on June 7th. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
There you go. Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't want Alex to yell at me for not having a good enough motion. All right, so with that, I think that is the last item. Okay, before we adjourn, do you want to tell us about the documents you put in front of us from the ZBA that you want us to review for the next meeting?
Sure. Yeah, there's a note on your agenda that you have 2 referrals from the Zoning Board of Appeals. So in front of you, you have 2 letters from me. The Zoning Board has asked me to send you 2 applications. The first is a referral for a property in the Historic District that is requesting certain variances for an addition. And the Board of Zoning Appeals had asked for your input. Because it is in the Historic District, specifically about the street-facing addition and whether the improvements were in harmony with the neighborhood character, which is one of the zoning criteria. So you have that application. The second is a specific type of variance specifically for historic preservation. The code enables the zoning board to grant variances when it would support historic preservation, and that board is required to refer it to this board to determine that the structure is eligible as a contributing structure. And that they ask for your comments, including any suggestions or conditions that might be appropriate. So you have a copy of those application materials in front of you as well. And that's an application to allow a current house to be converted to an accessory structure, but maintain bedrooms and heating and kitchens and things that are typically not allowed in an accessory structure. So the Board Appeals had asked for your comments, so if you can take a look at those and maybe at the next meeting. For one of them, I believe there's a 40-day timeline, and they'd like comments if possible, either for their July or August meeting.
So they want to keep the use and make it an accessory structure?
Correct.
Building a new house.
They are building a new house on the site.
On a separate property.
On the same property.
On the same.
And typically, we wouldn't allow 2 dwelling units on one property.
Corner lot.
Right. There was examples of this on Hill Street, where the board did grant that relief. In order to avoid those buildings being torn down, they've asked to be able to maintain it. But
Those buildings are really old.
Right. So this is on Gin Lane, and so
Yeah.
there's some
Is this?
material. Yep, that's the one. Yes. So that's
In
being
order to preserve it, they want the right to use this with bathrooms and whatnot.
correct. Otherwise, they would have to, on their original plan that came to your board for the new house, they were proposing essentially to decommission that, to remove the heat, to remove the bedrooms, and to remove the cooking facilities that make that a habitable dwelling unit, essentially making it just a seasonal accessory structure. And now they've asked to use it as what they're calling a guest house. So it could have bedrooms in it that wouldn't be a separate rentable dwelling unit, but would be more living space for guests and staff and their household.
Are there precedents for that?
There are some examples where that's been approved. The one on Hill Street with the former store is probably an example where a new house was built behind.
Oh, yeah.
Choice.
Yeah.
And
I love that.
there's some other examples, I think,
I'm glad
as
we
well.
saved it.
Yeah.
All right, so, pardon?
Okay, can I ask a quick question?
Please, yes.
Can you come up to the mic,
Just come
though,
to-
Amy? 'Cause you're not
Because one of
on
my
record.
comments is to make sure that you have, the documents, because I think,
Oh, I'm sorry. I might not have made enough copies, but I'll get it to you.
I just have a question, regarding keeping this accessory structure. If they wanted to update the inside, right, they'd have to keep it exactly the way, like if they wanted to update the kitchen or the bedrooms, they'd have to keep it exactly the way it is, correct? But they could update the inside as long as they keep it pre-existing, right?
Well, what right now, because they got approved to build another house on this property,
Yes.
they were required to have a plan to decommission the kitchen and take out the bedrooms. And so they'd like to maintain what they've had, and that's what triggers the need for a variance, because we don't allow that in an accessory structure, which is what this would become.
Right, I get that, I'm just saying, okay, but they have to keep it the way it is, as far as the footprint of the inside of the accessory structure.
No.
Yeah, it would be subject to
No,
whatever.
we don't care about the inside. We only care about the, we only care about the exterior, so.
I don't know
Okay,
why
I'm sorry.
they.
No,
Just
don't,
the-
sorry, but
right.
we
No,
just.
no,
Just-
it's a
just
good
the outside.
question,
Yeah.
because the.
That's right, I'm just, yeah.
The zoning board would review that, and they would put conditions on it for, so they would have to determine the number of bedrooms that are in that house, because that couldn't be, expanded in the future potentially
sorry to
without
take
further
your time.
review.
Yeah.
No.
It's a good
Curious.
question.
Don't be sorry.
And there's a discrepancy also in the number of bedrooms on some of the plans, so that's
Yeah.
something that we'll have to get, the zoning board will have to address as well.
So we have to look at it as it pertains to maintaining it as a historic structure.
Yes, is
And
it
do we
eligible for this?
support it, do we support a use change to maintain a historic structure in the village?
But our
Right.
purview is still only the outside, is that correct?
Right.
Correct, and if approved, it
There you
would
go.
still come to this board. If any changes or modifications were needed for a certificate of appropriateness, the zoning board is just asking your input. Is this structure eligible for this type of variance? Do you have any comments or any conditions that you think would be appropriate?
And it's not a use change.
What?
It's not a use change.
It's not a use change.
It's a house to a house, which is the same,
So
Yes.
now there are two houses on the property.
which is dimensional. Two houses
Right.
when one's allowed.
Right.
Well, and-
That's
It's like why, it's like why you can't
there's a
have cooking,
survey
you can't
included
have
in
cooking
there?
facilities in pool houses,
It's,
for example.
But
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
I
It's
live
because it's a
in a
very big
property.
property.
Just what I'm taking
Yeah.
on.
What?
They'd have to
Yes,
keep
and
the
they
windows
can't
the
move the
same,
window
exactly.
open.
They can't
And there's some
move
question
stuff.
because there was a,
More
the
than
way the
one
house looks right now does
story.
not match the plans that are approved to in 2016, so that will,
309
we'll read through this,
Southampton.
and then we'll
Right.
all,
Right.
we will all be
Are you
talking about
doing
it in
that?
20 seconds. All right, but let's make sure and get Amy set, because I
home.
think we've got
Sure.
a lot of vacations coming. We're
Pretty
going to
wild.
have a lot more people up here. Okay, so with that, everybody understand what our assignment is?
Yes, sir.
Sort of.
Okay.
I mean, I don't do and I don't.
Well, read through first,
All right.
it'll be clearer,
So
and
Susan,
then
you made
we'll
a
discuss it.
comment. Did you
Okay.
It
know
actually
the
goes into
previous
a lot of
owners
detail.
of Jennings Act?
Yeah.
That little Dutch colonial,
let's-
it
let's
looks like a
wait
Sears
till
house
we're-
to me. What?
Off the record, please.
Oh,
All right, so with that, I'm going to motion to adjourn the June 8th meeting of the Board of Architecture Review and Historic Preservation. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Go
Now-
Knicks.
Now.